soils types. First was the alluvial. We did it. Second was the black soil. Also we did it. Third was the red soil. We did it. Now come over to the fourth soil, that is called laterite soil. Laterite, it's a Russian terminology, means latosol. Latosol means leached soil. So this soil, lateritic soil, is basically similar. It is, if you superimpose the laterite soil with the vegetational zones. So wherever the wet equatorial rainforest found, or we have the laterite soil. It found in the isohyet. So some particular areas. So where the long rainy season, and short dry season. In India, where is this? So it means they have more than 175, and in truly it is 200 centimeter plus rainfall region, and it coincides with the wet evergreen rainforests. So wherever this amount of rainfall is there, or wet evergreen, so it is, laterite is found in the tropical climate, not in temperate. So this soil is, in terms of fertility, if I say fertility, this is the poorest soil in all. Poor in NPK plus, you can say, this is humus rich soil. This soil is humus rich, but still it is very poor. Actually, I told you while discussing the basic principles of soil that the bacterial actions in the soil determine the fertility of the soil. This area this is basically wherever the rainforests are there, where the rainforest, wet forests are there. Forests are there where canopy cover is so large, sunlight is not penetrating on the surface. So you can say equatorial rainforest. So lower 2/3 part of the trees is free from branches, and upper 1/3 part of the trees have the canopy. So sun rays are not penetrating on the surface. So sun rays are reaching only up to this area remains free from the sunlight. What happened? Since this is such a dense vegetation, so the accumulation of humus, this accumulates huge amount of humus. This is humus rich, AO layer horizon. AO horizon is very rich in humus, but because of the high temperature and high rainfall, these are the two climatic conditions. They are suitable for the fast bacterial action. When bacterial action is very fast, so what happened? This humus is simultaneously converted into nutrients. So the humus is simultaneously converted into nutrients, but they have rich humus. Humus is fast bacterial action. Humus is converted into nutrients. In such conditions, soil should be rich, but here soil remains poor. Fertility is the poorest. So in such condition, why it is happening such type of condition happens over here? Because of, as I said, high rainfall. When rainfall is high, long rainy season, rain almost round the year. So in this climate, rain round the year. So what happens if rain round the year? There is the leaching. Leaching takes place and washing the nutrients. Washing the nutrients. All nutrients are washed out with the water, by the water, fluvial water, or by the leaching. And this washing the nutrients means all chemically reactive material, chemically reactive nutrients get dissolved with water and leached out from the soil. So what happened? Nutrients are there, but they are simultaneously leached out with the water, or they percolate downward in the subsoil. So either they suppose this is the soil, so this is the humus get converted, either it is washed out or it leached down. Alluviation and illuviation, I said. It get illuviated, get accumulated in which horizon? This is A horizon and this is B horizon. All the salts get accumulated in B horizon. This is called leaching. Either the nutrients washed out with water or they leach down in the B horizon of the soil. So A horizon remains free from nutrients. So there is no fertility. If all chemically reactive metals are washed out, what is left? Left is which are chemically inert, chemically non-reactive material. So basically you can say iron and aluminum. These are the two important nutrient minerals which left behind. They are least reactive to chemical reaction, and they are left behind. All nutrients, magnesium, calcium, potassium, all sulfates, everything is washed out. So that's why this soil is big. This leaching, excess leaching in the soil, it also leached out the silica, and this soil becomes desiliceous or desiliceous. Soil becomes desiliceous. Silica leached out. That process is known as desilication. Desilication means no silica, no viscous material left in the soil. Soil remain very infertile, and because of this desilication, soil becomes porous. When there is the porosity is very high, all nutrients washed down. So that's why this soil remains poor. So these are the conditions where it is in India. Basically, such type of soil generally used to found in Western Ghats. Western Ghats, basically wind facing Western Ghats. Wind facing slopes. Wind facing slopes means slopes towards facing the Arabian Sea, and the partly Eastern Ghats. Partly Eastern Ghats, as well as northeastern region, particularly you can say Purvanchals. Purvanchals and Shillong Plateau, because these are the Shillong Plateau. Apart from that, some region in southern CNP, Chota Nagpur Plateau. So southern Chota Nagpur Plateau. These are the regions where most of the this laterite used to found. This laterite in India is spread over almost 4.5% geographical region. Geographical region of the country. This is basically we have the tropical wet rainforest kind of climate. So we have the dense forest, rich humus, high rainfall, high bacterial action, but no nutrients left behind. This soil is rich in moisture, rich in humus, but poor in nutrients because of the washing out the nutrients. So that's why this is not good for agriculture, but good for horticulture. Because when a horizon is poor, agriculture is not possible. A horizon may be upper 6 inch to 12 inch thick subsoil. When it is, but below this, only horticulture, trees have their roots. If a tree is here, then its roots are in the B horizon. Roots are in the B horizon, so that's why they have the horticulture. Western Ghat is known for what type of horticulture is the main source of their livelihood in the Western Ghat? Maybe, cashew nuts. Cashew nut. Mango. Mango? Which mango? In Western Ghat. Hapus, called Alfonso. Hapus. The Sari mango? Where it comes, the Sari comes from? The Sari comes from? The Sari comes from Karnataka. And Malda comes from? Malda is a, वो तो आप बताएंगे ना. You are from Bengal. Basically, the Sari is from UP, around near Lucknow. That region, if you say core region is called Malihabad. Simultaneously, we have the mango like Safeda. Safeda comes from South India. Safeda comes from Tamil Nadu, from Karnataka, and from Andhra Pradesh. Like Banganpalli mango, Langda mango, Malda mango, Totapari mango, Neelam mango. These are the different mangoes. I don't know you are aware of this or not, from where all these mango comes. But Western Ghats supply the Hapus mango, which is having the highest sucrose content, very delicious, very costly. It is not available in Indian market. Whatever we produce, 95% goes to the international market. Only 5% remains left behind in Indian market, and that is generally not in access to the North Indians generally. It is least available in North India. So they have the crops like cashew nuts. Soils, roots of the cashew nut is a horticultural crop. The roots are in B horizon because B horizon is rich with nutrients. And simultaneously tea, coffee, cardamoms. Cardamom. Can you name some more horticultural crops which are quite common in Western Ghat? So all these are the cash crops, horticultural crops, because soil is very poor in NPK. All NPK poor soil. So it is, since it is NPK poor, so only horticultural activities we use to perform in India. So this is all about laterite soil. More humus but poor fertility because of excess leaching, because of desilication. So this is all about the laterite soil. Apart from laterite, we have some more soil like, let me clean it. We have soil like, these are the 4 major types of soil found in India. It is, 5th is, you can say, desert soil. Desert soil is, it's not soil in true sense. It's sandy soil. It's found in patches. It's found in oases. It's found in some of the areas where water get accumulated. This is basically a basic soil. Basic soil. basic soil means where the pH value is more than pH value is always more than 7 to 8 to 9. As we move towards the west, towards Barmer, Bikaner and Jaisalmer, its pH value is always more than 9. It is sometimes 11, 10, 11, sometimes as high as 12 near the saline water bodies, near the playa lakes like Pachbhadra Lake, like Didwana Lake, Degana Lake, Sambar Lake. All these are the salt water lakes. Entire run of Kutch, it is all everywhere. It is more than 12. So farmers used to add gypsum to maintain the neutrality of the soil, to make the soil usable for agricultural conditions. And in Rajasthan, because of the desert soil, salts, because there is the climate determine the leaching, nature of leaching. In equatorial or in laterite soil, leaching takes place from up to down. But in the desert conditions, where evaporation exceeds precipitation, in desert, basically evaporation exceeds precipitation. जब बारिश से ज़्यादा evaporation हो जाए, वह क्या होगा? What will happen? The water through the microscopic capillary films of the soil में बहुत सारे capillary film हैं. So moisture comes up and get accumulated moisture. All the salts get accumulated in the subsoil near surface of the soil in upper 6 inch or 8 inch of the soil, and water get evaporated. When water get evaporated, water only, not the salts get evaporated. Salts left behind and water get evaporated. So all the salts get accumulated. But after the introduction of Indira Gandhi Canal in Rajasthan, what happened? All salts, this is full of salts, subsoil is full of salts because of the upward movement of water through capillary films, because evaporation is more than precipitation. So what happened? When we irrigate this soil, what happened? All these salts react with the water, and as salinity developed over here, this soil becomes useless, non-productive. It kills the bacteria. It doesn't allow bacterial action in the soil because of excess salinity. This problem is called same problem. If you talk any of the person of Rajasthan, what is the problem in the Indira Gandhi Canal region? So they have this salinity problem of excess salinity. This salinity was not before the introduction of Indira Gandhi Canal. उसके बाद जब हम इरिगेशन ज़्यादा करने लगे तो ऊपर में जितने सॉल्ट थे, they all get accumulated and appear and made a layer, thick layer of the soil. And this such type of soil is, in Russian terminology, it is also known as Rendjina soil, R-E-N-D, Rendjina. Rendjina soil. This is basically the same problem is there in desert soil. It's poor in humus, poor in moisture, poor in bacterial action. ह्यूमस ही नहीं है, मॉइस्चर ही नहीं है, तो सोयल कैसी होगी? सोयल विल रिमेन पुअर. सोयल रिमेन पुअर इन ऑल द केमिकल कंपाउंड्स, all the calcium, potassium, sulfates, nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, everything. Soil is not very fertile. Soil it is the with the artificial feeding, the biomanure, organic manure, compost, fertilizers, green manure, farmers maintain the fertility. So this is the desert soil. And apart from desert soil, one more type of soil is called mountain soil. Mountains doesn't have the soil intrusions. Mountainous region soil doesn't get the horizon. It develops on the slopes. The nature of slopes determine the fertility of the soil. If slopes are gentle, if slopes are like this, if slopes are like this, if slopes are like this. In all these slopes, here nature of soil would be different. the quality of the soil will get deteriorate, the nature of the slope increases, the nature of the soil also gets, so this soil on these slopes, if the slope is more than 30-degree angle of slope, the area cannot accumulate the parent material. And it is the parent material which accumulate the humus, and humus convert into nutrients. So parent material is the basic essentiality for the formation of the soil. So here parent material hardly accumulate over here. So parent material accumulate only in the upper 15-degree and less of the area where erosion is less. So here through the erosion, through the weathering actions, through the denudation, through the transportation, through the mass wasting, all nutrients are brought vast down from the upland to the lowland. So it's basically humus left behind, because in mountainous region, it is mountains are full of the humus, full of the vegetation. So vegetation get piled up in the form of humus. Sometimes it is very rich, sometimes humus is also not converted into nutrients. So the nature of this soil, this is basically humic soil. Humic soil. So this is humus rich soil. It doesn't have no horizon. It doesn't have horizon. And poor parent material, poor PM. Parent material is very poor. So this soil is always found in patches. Patches, the nature of patches depends on the location and the situation and the nature of the slopes. So that's why farmers used to construct terraces. And on the terraces they stop erosion, they check erosion, they accumulate the soil, and for the cultivation. The soil is rich in humus, poor in parent material. Humus rich soil, parent material is poor, found in patches. So that's why agriculture is good. So it is good for tuber crops. Tuber crops may be potato or the sweet potato, or you can say this is also good for vegetables. Vegetables, because vegetables seasonal crops, you know, like capsicum, like tomato, and this is also good for food grains. Which food grain? Food grain is basically maize. So these are the three important crops they used to cultivate in the mountain, in the Himalayan slopes, as well as in the slopes of the steep slopes of the Nilgiris and in the Western Ghat in India. In Purvanchal and Western Ghat we have the Himalayas, we have the mountains. So above the height of say 1000 meter and above, this type of soil used to form. So this is all these are the different type of soil. In India, about the soil, we have certain problems are also. The most basic problem of this soil is that in the existing, because of the intensification of agriculture, farmers are pumping huge amount of fertilizers. So the sodacity of the soil is increasing, quality of the soil is deteriorating. So this is the one problem. Another problem of soil is the erosion. Soil erosion is taking place. So we have in the flood prone areas, in the slopes, in the Himalayan region, in the coastal region, on the slopes where the torrential rain used to take place. So soil erosion is another basic problem. Apart from the soil erosion, third important problem is the salinity. Because North Indian soil is, the parent material of the North Indian soil is full of the calcium carbonates. Because parent material comes of the entire alluvial soil, parent material they are obtained from the Himalayas, and Himalaya is full of the chemically reactive material. So salts, lime rich or the calcium carbonates get accumulated in the subsoil. So we have, apart from that, some problems like in you can say in Chambal River Valley, ravines and the badlands are there. in those badlands, badland is the problem where the soil is not developing properly, and soil erosion become a common problem over there. The seasonal problem is there. So these are the few problems of the related to soil. Overutilization, pressure on this soil is there. The soil get accumulated after millions of years, after it is a continuous process of accumulation, and the formation have taken place. So this is all about the different types of soil, and they determine the nature of soil, determine the carrying capacity of the region, the how many people can live over there. It is not only the climate, not only the relief, but nature of soil is playing a very important role for determining the carrying capacity of the region. So that's all about the soil today, and let me stop it here, and I may start the new topic. I have time. Let's start the new topic, that is